7:40. And I'll call the meeting to order. Would you call the roll, please?
Terry Dusigny.
Here.
Edwin Kaufman.
Here.
Francis Mesereau, present. Michael Schenkel.
Here.
Dan Coco. Charles
Absent.
Fitzpatrick.
Here.
Jennifer Maloney.
Present.
Doug Myers.
Here.
Doug Wolf.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Number 4 on the agenda, the first item is the fiscal report from the financial management company.
Matthew.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we don't want to make you wait, so here.
I don't know what I'm discussing, but.
Better be ready.
Hello, everybody. I don't know if you guys received a copy of the financial report or not. No? Okay. Okay.
Michael.
Turn around.
Yeah. Matthew, sorry.
It's okay. I go by Michael too.
Yeah, that's right.
Basically, right now, as of May 31st, the total in operating cash that we're showing as of May 31st is about 2.1 million. That's including your insurance proceeds, your insurance account.
That shouldn't be an operating.
That shouldn't be an operating. What would that be
Not the
considered?
insurance.
Not operating cash.
Absolutely not.
So insurance is a separate account. Okay, we can split that up. I apologize. You are in the negative then. If you take that out.
What's the balance without the insurance proceeds?
Your balance is 2.191 less. Oh, sorry, you're not in the negative. 1.208,387. So I can get
About
you.
900.
It's about 900,000 in operating cash. You have 1.208 in your insurance cash. Special assessment, you have about 178 plus 90, so about 268.
Let me bring over the left. Bring the left.
So I can turn around. Sorry about my back to you guys.
That's good.
All right, in your other accounts, which includes your security deposits and your escrow, parking deposits, you have $409,000. Currently in accounts receivables is 1.1 million, less what is allowance for doubtful accounts, which is accounts that are way past due that I believe were decided to write off a certain amount. Or, less an allowance for doubtful accounts, which is units that are either bank owned or so far behind that it's unlikely the association will collect, which gives you a total of 211 in receivables.
211 what?
211,000.
Thank you.
Apologize. And then in your liabilities, you're looking at about 1.798 million in current liabilities, which includes your collection costs, accounts payables, insurance payables, deferred insurance proceeds, and then your long-term liabilities is 4.9 million, which includes your debt service on your loan. Your special assessments total 669,000, which is still to be billed. Proportion that's to be billed is 669,000, to make you a grand total of total net worth and liabilities of $7.6 million. Currently, your year to date for your revenue and expenses, your revenue is $1.194445 million. So far, that's been billed out, and your total year to date expenses are 1.667459 million, giving you a net loss on the year of $473,000. There's one thing to keep in mind there. Maureen actually just provided it, and I did meet with the CPA who had mentioned the funds, the expenses actually that are spent out of the insurance proceeds should not go on your revenue and expense statement, which they have year to date, which roughly, I think it was about $240,000. Do you remember the breakdown?
Not the total, I'm sorry.
And that needs to come off your revenue and expense statement, which would decrease the net loss on the year. In addition to that, Matthew Lippman, our general manager, has been working with Terry in reducing a lot of the ongoing expenses to even us out for the year and hopefully remain in the positive by the within the next few months. Questions?
Just want to confirm something. Since our monthly revenue, since our monthly expenses exceeds our regular maintenance revenue, we've been using special assessment 3 income to supplement, and that helps keep our head above water?
Somewhat, yes. You've had all your special assessment income and your operating income have, since we've been doing the books, and I believe since United was doing the books,
Yes.
have all gone into one cash account, one bank account. So
Also in 2009.
2000, since 2009 it's been going in. So whether or not it's been supplemented by
April 1st of 2010, United started.
Yes, but this was going in there before that too.
it was all combined, it was all
We had 2
commingled.
accounts prior to that.
You
One
still
for
have
supplement,
2 accounts.
But they weren't commingled.
No, your funds that are coming in on a monthly basis, your special assessment funds that people are paying monthly on and your payoffs, and your operating funds for your regular maintenance are all going into one bank account. I don't know how far back it goes. Apparently it goes back a long time, a couple of years.
It goes back to United. Prior to that, KW gave us 2 separate bank accounts, 2 columns that separated assessment from maintenance.
Yeah, what we're doing right now is we're going through 2011, the money that we received on payoffs for units that have closed or sold that received payoffs on the special assessment. We're going through the details on the deposits to figure out what should have gone into the special assessment account, what should have gone into the operating account, how much money we received in special assessment, how much money should go into operating. That will tell us where we are for 2011. I don't know about 2010, I don't know about 2009, but that will tell us for the last 5 months.
How much do we owe for 2011?
I would anticipate it probably being in the 6-figure range. I don't want to give you a accurate figure, but I don't know exactly. We're very close to getting an actual spreadsheet
So it's over
completed.
100,000.
It's probably in the 6-figure range, yes. I
That's
mean,
for
you
this
figure
year.
you're getting
So
right
far.
now on a payoff is typically on a specialist is around 8,000. So you figure if you've had more than 10 received payment in full, then we're at $100,000. Every 10 you're about a little under 100.
When's the last time you spoke with our accounting firm?
I had email correspondence with them last week and the week before. They requested about 50 invoices from 2011, which I scanned and I sent over to them. I have about 6 remaining, some being direct debit, which I've requested from Maureen to provide. And have you spoken to them recently?
Yeah,
Okay, and Maureen,
I got
that's
the
if you
FPL
could-
invoices and the, ADP.
Nothing on 2010 though.
Right,
Nothing.
you're not involved with 2000.
But part of the 2011 audit includes, I guess, checking the beginning of 2011, doing certain tests and whatnot.
Maybe we have to know where we began.
Mhm.
Sort of.
And there's also, when you mentioned the special assessment account, you do have a special assessment bank account with a significant amount of funds in there. It's called Wachovia SA number 2, and there's $178,000 currently in that account.
Where is that from?
That could be from 2009, it could be from when KW was made, I don't know, that was when what we took over. That $178,000 could cover our shortfall and what we've been spending out of it, excess out of operating. It could cover the principal paydowns that the bank is requesting from '09.
We'll find that out.
Yeah, but what we would like to do is right now for 2011, because the coupons and the lockbox and the way it's gone is all going into one account. We're gonna have to do sweeps out of it to be compliant. For 2012, we'd like to split it up to where the monthly payment on the loan comes out of a special assessment account, and the special assessment funds go into a special assessment account separate
Yeah, we
from
have
your
to
operating.
coupon books,
Like
so
you're supposed
why
to
do
be
we have
legal.
to wait to separate it?
Because the coupon books are all coded to go into the same operating account. So in order to get it to go to the
They
lockbox
should.
separately, you need new coupon books.
Yeah, but how many unit owners are chronically delinquent over 120? Is it true it's 110 or 120 owners?
Probably yes.
And the average maintenance and special assessment is average a little over $300 a month?
Monthly?
Average maintenance and special assessment payment.
Well, it depends on the type of unit that they own.
Of course, average, I'm asking for an average.
I don't have that figure for you
It's a
right
little
now.
over 300 a month. If you multiply that times 110, conservatively, it's $33,000 a month that we are not receiving in maintenance and special assessments. I just wonder how we're making that difference up.
Well, you also have the other, I don't know, you also have the big problem where a unit that goes to the bank, let's say, they're limited in their liability.
Right.
12 months or 1%, say it's 1%, they're paying you $1,500. You're still owed on that unit the balance of the special assessment plus anything prior. You're forced to write that amount, which will give you a deficit at the end of the day with what you owe on the loan.
Right.
So hopefully that, less any principal pay downs we'd save on interest, would even out a little bit.
Part of that 330,000, the 33,000 a month, which translates to about $380,000 a year, that's been made up by all the cuts that were made starting last year. We're saving about $120,000 a year on the security by doing it in-house. We're saving well over $200,000 a year by not having a management company, closer to $300,000. That'll all come out in the end, and you'll see that. That's where the $33,000 a month was made up that we were running in the red before. I'll go over it with you again. I'll sit down with you. I went over it with Francis, and I'll sit down and show you the facts and figures of how we made it up. It's not a work of genius. It was common sense. We were paying we fought tooth and nail to get rid of the security that we were paying $240,000 a year, and we cut it down by $100,000. That's $100,000.
He said we're running a deficit in the last 5 months, right? How could that?
No, but if you put it all together the way it was run before, it's not. We're not running at a deficit.
Well,
Why aren't those numbers, Terry, why aren't those numbers incorporated on a monthly basis like everything else is? You don't wait till the end of the year and show a savings that you're...
They're working on that now, and the CPA.
We just said we took in less than we paid out.
well, your revenue and expenses, and you also got to keep in mind the expenses that you had on the renovations that were voted on, I believe approved to come out of the insurance proceeds. Those are added, those expenses are on your revenue and expense statement. So if you remove those expenses, according to the CPA, need to be moved out and then moved back at the year end, will reduce your net loss on the year. In addition to some savings on the expense side, would even you out to get you back in the green. You're not gonna make it all up in 1 month. You're not. It just basically.
But what's the projection for 6 months from now, based on our current deficits and our current expenses, liabilities? 6 months, where are we?
Are we getting copies of the statements?
Yes.
Copies of what statements?
He's not an accountant.
What statements are you referring to?
Financial
The revenue and expense statements, I give the property manager a copy to disperse.
You can always request them from the office. You can
Yeah.
come in and we'll make copies for you.
We're not
The
getting
first
the
6 months
financial
will be
statement
running
for
at
2010 yet.
Or plus.
5 months, January to
How are we
May.
doing
He's
this
only
for
working on
5 months?
2011. We don't have 2010 yet. We're hoping to have it tonight.
Your revenue and expense statement is a net loss for the year currently through May 31st.
How much?
Right now it is 473. However, like I said before, 1 second, hold on. Like I said before, roughly 250,000 or so was spent out of insurance proceeds. That's included in this 470. So you take off 250 from that 470, and that's what your net loss for the current year is currently.
And how are we financing that? Through the special assessment income?
It's all combined. I can't tell you that specifically how you're financing it. This is, your revenue is not necessarily the cash that you've taken in. Your revenue is what we build out.
If we did not have the insurance money, we'd be in a lot of trouble, correct?
You're in a lot of trouble with
I
it.
don't hear you.
Hey, Dick, you're in a
Well,
lot of trouble
give me
with
an
it.
answer, because I have a second question. If you realize that, why don't you give us a maintenance increase, which would be common sense? You know this is just a Band-Aid. Why don't you do something for the future? 5% a year, we could all live with, and that's what you should be suggesting. Not that we're moving money around that we shouldn't be moving.
Matt, go ahead. Go ahead.
If we give a maintenance increase right now, there's, from my estimation, I've talked to a lot of people, there's about 50, 60 out of the 832 people here who are slightly underwater in the mortgage and they're barely holding on. That's gonna throw a lot more people into
It's only
short sale or
$10
foreclosure.
on a month per apartment, though. You know it, I don't.
Yeah, but I'm telling you
$10 a
that there are,
month, you can give that.
there are people, but not everybody is as fortunate as I am.
Okay,
And-
$10 a month
And
is
I'm
not gonna
thinking
put
about the
anybody on
whole
the
of the
street.
people. And I'm telling you that about 50 or 60 families, if we push them even an inch now, they're gonna let it go, and we're not gonna get maintenance or assessment for the next 2-3 years and let the banks
There will not-
close.
there will
That's
not.
gonna put us more
You
in the
have
hole.
over
There will not
100
be
people
an
now.
increase.
That is
We're
not
not
the
pushing
answer.
it. I
No
think the
increase in
money-
maintenance. It's not
What kind of
prudent.
stories are you giving?
It's not a
What about
story,
the
it's
100 people
common
that are not
sense.
paying now?
Wait 6 months, we'll have to do it anyway.
Eventually, we have to pay for those people.
Do you have any idea what it would
No.
do if we gave a maintenance increase now? Do you actually know?
Yeah, I think it'll keep us above
No,
water,
it won't
but you're
keep us
not gonna
afloat.
get the other
We're
money.
gonna have a major influx of people who are on the brink, who are gonna let their apartments go, and we're gonna be in deep duty.
For
That's
$10
the
a
answer.
month, I don't believe so.
Well, if it's only $10 a month, then it's not substantial enough to make a difference.
Well, how about the other 100? It's not substantial, okay.
Well, you just said it's only
5%
$10.
increase on
Yes.
$10 a month.
Stuart,
That's 80,000 a year.
It just seems strange that we can't get 3 figures every month from you guys. One figure is, what did we take in revenue? What did we pay in expenses? And are we in the red or the black, and how much? This is not brain surgery.
Stuart, he just told us.
No, but then he said it came from there and it came from there. We want to know exactly what we took in, straight maintenance and assessment, and what we paid out, and what the difference is.
We took in 400,000 less than we paid out.
now, that's not,
That's
We
for
took
5
in
months.
400,000, or maybe I missed it, I wasn't here.
because you got added.
We're talking month to
You add it
month.
all together. He's asking if you
Or
put
in
everything
May.
together
About 33,000.
versus what we paid out, what would it be? You didn't take out
A year ago, it was 25,000.
Okay.
So,
So wait a minute, you're saying now that we have $33,000 in the hole every single month, minimum?
How much?
33,000,
About
that's the question.
33,000. Actually, that's a conservative number. You based the, with the numbers you just gave out, if you figure it out, that's what we're losing a month there on maintenance.
He doesn't remember the numbers.
Getting off your,
We're getting off the topic, what's more important than that topic?
It's actually more than that. And the kicker is
Right, I know. So, what is the answer to the question? Are we $33,000 in the red every month?
yes.
Using the assessment funds.
So we're in deep duty in plain and simple English.
Where will we be in 6 months,
It's
basically?
going into the,
Special assessment, increased maintenance.
Or else we're gonna have to take and eat up the, whatever's left of the insurance money, and then we won't have any reserves, God forbid, if there's a waste or flood or a famine.
So that money just comes out of the.
So our finances are in deep doo-doo, period.
That money is.
No matter how you wanna talk
That
about
money
it.
is an account that has been set up for years, to be quite honest with you, long before I was here, United around.
We put $178,000 in the bank and we forgot about it?
No, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have a separate bank account for your operating funds and a separate bank account for your special assessment funds. Since I've been involved, that has not been the case, and apparently since the prior management company was involved, that was not the case.
So why don't we do it?
It's commingled.
What are we waiting for?
There's a special assessment bank account with $178,000.
So why don't we just do
What
it?
are
It's
you
very
waiting for
simple
to
to go to
do?
the bank and open up 2 accounts
No,
and
it's
just use
already
them.
open, it's not as simple. You have a coupon book that goes through the bank, the lockbox service that gets deposited to your operating. So in order to change it, you need to provide everyone new coupon books and ensure that everyone discards their old coupon books.
Why, Matthew?
Because
the
each
way the
coupon,
lockbox service
Yeah,
is
but why
going.
when the money goes into the lockbox, a special assessment, why can't that be transferred immediately into the escrow account?
Because
Again,
it's-
but we just gotta control the spending.
Because it's the same account number as the,
Marvin, understand, it goes into one pot, but we can take whatever we need from that pot, that special assessment, put it in another pot.
that's too simple.
No, it's that simple.
You could, but you also gotta keep in mind also is that you're not talking about a significant difference because you have roughly about $35,000 coming out of that operating account also. And the difference between the money received and the money coming out would be the transfer, which is probably very minimal. According to that report, you figure it's probably about.
According to that report, it's $30,000 a month.
Exactly, so if we're taking 30,000 in, we're billing out 30,000 in, and we're paying 35 out.
No. We're billing out 65,
This is the same as the old one.
$325,000, according to your figures, is what's been, the billed is $365. Collected is $320, excuse us, collected. We've collected $326 for the first 5 months. It's averaging $65,000 a month. Well, like we're getting in special assessment, but we're only paying out about $35,000, or $30,000 or $35,000.
Yeah, so your shortfall is roughly 30,000 a month that needs to transfer.
No, it's not, well,
Yeah.
we're collecting more in special assessment income than we're paying to the bank.
Well, that's, yeah, but what we're
So
talking about.
So we're using that extra money to fund operating expenses.
And not pay back the bank, it makes no sense.
Well, when you're paying back the bank, you're only required, according to your notice, to pay back on payoffs, 100% payment towards principal, back from '09 forward, which, to my knowledge, I don't think that was ever done. And then you're also required to do your monthly B&I payment, which you pay roughly $16,000 right now. I think last month it was $16,000 toward principal and about $20,000 towards interest. So as you start doing those principal reductions, the interest will go down as it's.
If you have the money in the account, you're not using it, you're using it to keep the place going, not pay the bank back, it makes no sense.
Well,
Eventually, you're gonna get caught, sure.
So what you're saying, it's possible that the money that's sitting in the special assessment, we'll call it a savings account, it's just sitting at $178,000. It's possible that that plus a little more will pay off what we owe the bank to get us compliant.
Yes, and reduce your interest payments.
No, it's more than
Not
that.
100 more.
100 more.
So 178 plus 100.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to get another $100,000.
Anyway, if it's our money, can't we do what we want?
Yes.
But it,
No.
to pay back
Yeah,
the interest
I'd like to, I'd like
do
to,
that. We're gonna get compliant with the bank.
As long as you're compliant, but we're not compliant, Terry, we haven't been compliant. The man just said that we haven't been
We're
paying any
To have the money
principal
We're
and
gonna
interest.
pay the bank what we need to pay
Well, then you
them.
can't do with the money what you want, like we've been doing
and
evidently.
it's costing us.
I've sat here at board meetings, past board meetings, where treasurers have gotten up, and now what Francis just said, and the treasurer got up and said we're in the black. And Francis just said, pointed out that we've been commingling the funds,
Knowingly,
knowingly. That's against the law.
knowingly.
Yeah, it's against the
Oh,
law.
jeez, it is.
Of course it's against the law.
I'd like to clarify something.
There's very specific things you can use the insurance money for, and not operations. That is not part of what the insurance money is for. And it is totally illegal to play around with that money, which we've been doing now for, like, it could be almost 3 years already.
All right.
How many things were we out of compliance on? 14, 20 different things with the bank?
Are we finished with Matthew?
I think so.
Are we
Yeah.
finished with Matthew?
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, sir.
Matthew, go get a shot of tequila.
Bring me one clarification.
Can I just clarify
This
something?
point, not this point, but the I'm sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Okay, just clarify. Based on what I just heard, to get compliant with the bank, two things. One, we're gonna have to make up for the payoffs that were not paid. We received payoffs. And that's to the tune of about 200 and something thousand dollars.
About 250, I think.
About 250. We have about 178 in the special adjustment account.
Yes.
So the additional
How come you got money
80 or
saved that
90,
not paying
the additional 80 or 90 will have to come from somewhere else.
That's gonna come from the insurance proceeds.
Okay, now,
Yes. I have that in my little report.
okay, so I just want to confirm, just to clarify in my own mind, the bank is
Taking it
not,
right out of it.
the bank is not asking that we give them all the special assessment funds we've been collecting
They
month by
can't.
month.
It's not part of the agreement. When they redid the loan, it was all redone.
Okay,
Isn't this also a
so our note does not stipulate that all special assessment income goes to them.
Put it in like a CD?
Thank you very much.
But I think it's illegal.
All right. Thank you. What's the next?
Margaret on instead of letting it lay.
The next item on the agenda, number, I got it. Listen up, guys. The next item on the agenda, number 6, the approval,
No,
I'm
5.
sorry, 5, the corrections of the previous meeting minutes. I'll let Francis and Dove deal with this one. The corrections, you wanted to...
To May 16th.
I don't know why that's been brought up in the meeting, I just told them the corrections were.
So you have to approve.
Because they were already approved, so now we
You
have
have
to.
to... No, we'll do it.
It's not that important to me, I felt it was important to Francis to get it correct, otherwise I wouldn't have cared, I wouldn't have even said
Let's
anything.
approve it. I mean,
No big deal.
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, we have 2 items that pertain to the minutes, okay?
There are 2 sections to the minutes. Before we get to the correction that Dov Wolf had asked for.
The only
In reviewing...
The only reason why I even suggested making the correction, because either way it doesn't matter to me, is that I know Jerry tapes all the meetings, and if he were to go back and see the video.
Even with the tape, you
and
can't tell
reference
what
it.
happened.
Sorry?
I told you that. I had the tape, I couldn't tell what happened.
Oh, you have to do-
Mishmash of conversation, people talking over each other. It was impossible, it really was.
Okay.
Okay, now,
I
but,
didn't know you had the tape.
yeah, that's, to begin the start. I reviewed all of the minutes that are filed in the office, and I found a number of minutes for meetings that, although the directors have had them and read them, I had no objection, they were never formally approved. So, right now, I need to make a motion, please, to waive the reading and approve, as presented, minutes of January 20, 2011, January 24, 2011, February 4th, 2011, February 14th, 2011, March 9th, 2011, and March 29th, 2011. May I have a second?
I do. Francis, seconded.
Charles, thank you. Thank you.
No one opposed?
Any objections?
Any objections? No one opposed, the motion carries unanimously.
Okay. Well, we also, May 23rd as well, Francis.
Those have to be approved.
Okay.
Okay, now, so the second part of the minutes,
Number 6, the approval of the prior meeting minutes.
yes. And we have the minutes of May 16.
And Dov Wolf has asked for a correction of one item on the May 16 minutes. That was, a motion was made, according to my records, simultaneously by Dov and Charles Fitzpatrick to table any discussion about further restoration of Grenoble and Interlaken. Dov has asked to have that corrected to indicate that it was he who made the motion, and I believe Charles has no objection.
No, I do not.
So if the board has no objection, I'd like a motion to approve the minutes with that one correction.
I second the motion. objections? Motion's carried unanimously.
Okay, and then we have one other item on the minutes, and that's the minutes of May 23rd, which the directors have been furnished a copy. And we need to, I make a motion to have to waive the reading of the May 23rd minutes and approve them as presented.
I so do move.
I second the motion.
Charles already did.
Are there any objections? The motion is passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Now for the sales and approval of the sales and leases and
Since the last meeting, the Committee on Sales and Leases met 3 times. And I have my report of the Sales and Leases Committee for those 3 meetings, which were on May 24th, June 9th, and June 16th. And these reports indicate and state that the committee approved an annual lease for a 1-bedroom unit in St. Moritz for $700 per month. Approved an annual lease for a 1-bedroom unit in Grenoble for $775 per month. Approved an annual lease for an efficiency unit in Yorkshire for $2,725 per month. Approved an annual lease.
How much?
$725. Approved an annual lease for a 2-bedroom unit in Interlaken for $950 per month. Approved an annual lease for a 1-bedroom in Edelweiss for $750 per month. Approved a lease for a 1-bedroom unit in Orleans for $575 per month. Approved the purchase for a 1-bedroom unit in St. Moritz for $30,000. Approved the purchase for a 1-bedroom unit in Orleans for $29,000. At the meeting of June 9th, approved an annual lease for a 1-bedroom unit in Edelweiss for $750 per month. Approved an annual lease for a 2-bedroom unit in Zurich for $1,050 per month. Approved an annual lease for a 1-bedroom unit in Grenoble for $700 per month. Approved an annual lease for a 1-bedroom unit in St. Moritz for $725 per month. Approved the purchase for a 2-bedroom unit in Interlaken for $52,322. Approved an occupant in a 2-bedroom den unit in Orleans. At the meeting of June 16th, approved an annual lease for a studio unit in Marseille for $650 per month. Approved an annual lease for an efficiency unit in Heidelberg for $650 per month. Approved an annual lease for a 1-bedroom unit in Grenoble for $775 per month. Approved an annual lease for a studio unit in Bordeaux for $650 per month.
thank you.
Excuse me, the unit that you set, indicated as a lease for $525?
$575.
$575.
1-bedroom in the Orleans. I make a motion to approve the sales and leases.
There were no sales approved for June?
Yeah, you read that.
2 sales.
Oh, no, not
In May, no sales. In June, no sales. Oh yeah, there were sales in May. 2 of them.
30 and 20.
Three sales.
I didn't hear that.
There were 3 sales.
In June?
I don't have the dates. Total of 3 sales. 2 1-bedrooms and 1 2-bedroom.
I make a motion to approve the sales and leases.
Who seconded?
Can I ask a question?
Any objections? The motion is approved unanimously.
Can I ask a
I'd like
question?
to see the report. I'd like to object and see the report. Please note that.
You don't approve the reports?
I would like to see the report. I object until I can see the actual report. I think there's something missing there.
Like what?
A sale.
3 sales. You know more than 3 sales?
What are the sales, Edward?
What are the apartment sales?
What were the
A one
apartment
bedroom
sales
for
again,
30
please,
K, a
Edward?
one bedroom for 29, and a two bedroom for 52 and change.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. They did, 30, 29, and 52.
Three sales.
Yep, we're fine.
Okay.
What's the current ruling on renting when you buy an apartment?
Okay, for the next item,
Thank you very much.
You didn't answer the question.
we're-
Somebody asked the question.
What is-
What is
our
the
rules on
current ruling
renting?
for when somebody buys a new apartment, when they can rent? That's not a tough question.
1 year.
You don't know?
Wait 1 year.
Is there an answer?
You can answer.
Well, I know what the rule,